Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about dealing with your difficult future in-laws. Let's get started. So today I have 7 tips for you for dealing with your difficult or not so difficult, hopefully. Hopefully this will make it easier. Future in-laws, your fiance's family, and even your own family. So let's get started. Difficult people tend to act worse during a crisis or when there's pressure or stress around. We all have this desire, it's stressful enough with ourselves when we're like trying to plan our own wedding. We have so many things to think about. We have to book a venue and a caterer. We have to stay on budget. Oh my gosh. And then we have to try and feed ourselves and fit into a dress or something. It's all really difficult. And then on top of it, when you have difficult people around you, it makes it more difficult for you to do difficult things. So it can feel really overwhelming. I know I had that experience. Difficult family members can do a lot of things to try and feel better about themselves. This is anyone during this time. They can yell at you. They can start blaming you for things. They can act impulsively and do things behind your back. And they can do really dramatic, withdraw things. These are all super common things. If you have bad news to deliver or some controversial news, be prepared to stay calm throughout the discussion. Take deep breaths, and if you can, here's my tip: practice your conversation beforehand and really go into the conversation thinking the best thoughts about this person. If you have a difficult conversation to have with your mom or future mother-in-law coming up, really think about the best way the conversation can go. Before you come into the room, think about the best thing about them that you would love to hear. Not that you're going to hear it, but that you could hear, so that you ultimately give yourself and set yourself up, which is the most important, is taking care of you, really, to have the best experience. Everyone can just get the information across without the drama. Number 2, calming people with lots of ear statements. Ear means empathy, attention, and respect for the upset person. You're telling someone, your future mother-in-law, your mother. Let me take my example. We were planning a reception, and the place that we wanted to have it just randomly called and said that they didn't want to host us anymore because I was wondering if we could put runners on the table. It's true. The thing I think that I needed to make sure to stay calm about, I needed to show empathy for them, that they would be freaking out. Attention, say things like, I hear your frustration, or I understand that this could make things more difficult, and I respect your efforts to make this work. We just have to work out a few more details. Just acknowledge it, and when someone acknowledges, your own feelings, you feel better about how, the future could go. Number 2 is calming upset people with those ear statements, showing empathy, attention, and respect. Number 3, here we go. Keep the conflict small. If you're having a difficult conversation, only talk about that one little thing. Be prepared for them to try and bring up things that happened before. What I want you to do is, if they start doing that, focus on the now and have 2 to 3 solutions in mind. Sometimes that doesn't even help. Just focus on what you can do now. Make sure you get it done and keep the problem just really, really small for them. Here's number 4. Avoid getting emotionally hooked. Stay focused on what to do. So have that action plan ready. Make sure you don't, get super emotional about it. I know it's really, really hard because all of these emotions with your family is just so difficult all the time, because we just want approval. We want to be understood. We want people to help us. But in the end, everyone is human and we're all vulnerable. When difficult people are high conflict people, they are always going to be preoccupied with blaming others, and that means blaming you and me. Remember, so say it with me right now, it's not about me. It's about this decision we need to make. You can practice that right now. This is not about me. This is about the decision we need to make. Number 5, take breaks and allow others to take breaks too. When people are under stress, it's easy for us to keep pushing through and try and get them to the place where we need them to go. We need to choose a dress. So we need to stay here the whole time and you need to sit down until I pick out a dress. So stressful. Our attention spans, now they're really super short. Our attention spans are really limited. We get overloaded by decision fatigue. We need to prioritize breaks. They need time to process things, maybe a little more time than we do. I know that's true for me. Maybe go outside or go get some lunch and then come back if that's possible. Number 6, both families. I was wanting to please both sides. It's not just your own family. It's this other family that you have to try and please and make happy. And then, what if they don't? Then that affects your future spouse and your fiance. And then it's just oh my God. Reasonable parents communicate and make compromises. In this video, if we're talking about difficult people, they are probably not interested in compromising. Then what do? Here are a few tips. Adopt an objective way to deal with these things. Really be able to make sure that you're communicating and staying neutral as Switzerland to make sure you get through this multiple parenting obstacle course. Okay, so the number 7, usually the advice is to stay away from these difficult people. But if you can't, here are some of the tips that I have. 1, find a healing, calming thing. Try some workout routines. You get your back in shape. You can just keep working on yourself during this time. Try to avoid for yourself criticizing or blaming that other person, because it's just going to get everything wrapped up and it's going to start making everything worse. Play to that person's strengths. If you know that they are really great at picking food or designing a dress or working on invitations or something, play to their strength and get them on your team. That is one of my favorite things to do. Someone who's difficult to work with, ask them to do something for you so that really it goes 2 ways. You get it off your plate and you get them working for you, which is amazing. Those are my 7 tips for dealing with difficult future in-laws or even your own family while you're planning a wedding. If you like this video or you learned something, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on All Things Wedding with me,